You want to say that
beating
after hours?
AJ beating around the bush, man. We about to move this along. You want to
say after hours, man? That's
we moving this along. So
he like her, then that's what it is.
So we're about to move into my favorite part of the show, which is the final word. All right. So I want to kick this off with Josh with the final word. Me and him kind of in the same place, being single and everything. So I want to kick it off with Josh. What's your final word?
Traditional values are gone. The quicker we as a society, whoever's in the dating pool, accept that, the better off we'll be. I do love what AJ said, though. I'm gonna give that some thought. Moving forward in just the dating process, period, and in just what we value, everybody out here better start valuing somebody that's bringing something to the table. Everybody better start valuing that. All these Instagram models, I'm even noticing, and they don't talk about this a lot, but I watch sports a lot. The NBA stars and NFL stars and the singer, they're starting to meet women and demanding that these women do something. They're starting to do that. It's been going on for the last few years. So what I feel everybody should be valuing is 2021. Stuff is not going to get no easier. It's only getting harder. So if you ain't got somebody that's bringing something to the table, that is fighting for your relationship and fighting for your finances, your emotional well-being, your psychological well-being, even your spiritual well-being, if you ain't got nobody like that, you can call it quits, baby. You can call it quits. It ain't gonna be enough for you to have a big booty and some big titties. That ain't gonna be enough. You have to have somebody that's gonna be on your team, period. And when I say bring something to the table, I'm not talking about bring all the baggage to the table and break the goddamn table, okay? We all gonna have to be with somebody who is on point with moving forward financially into the future. And if they can't provide that, you need to leave them by the wayside. That's where your values need to be. I know people, well, what about love and love? Man, fuck love. What can you put? Everybody, I'm in love. Oh, love. What about love? Motherfucker, love ain't put no goddamn steak and beans on this table, goddamn it. Money did. Fuck what you're talking about. Fuck what you're going through. But, hey, and that's my final thought.
All right. We go
follow that one.
Keep it in the bug, man.
Wow. We go switch this over to Mr. Ewell. Where we at? Final thought, final word, final bird.
Just like Josh said, me and AJ is in a different spot. You know what I'm saying? Our situations are a lot different. We're not looking at the rat race. We watching the movie of the rat race. You know what I'm saying? So the perspectives are a little different. We're kind of like, got mine. Good luck. Get yours. You know, it's kind of like that. So I believe half what Josh say, and I'm leaning more towards what AJ say, because at the end, I do believe me and AJ are in a traditional type scenario with traditional roles versus what you guys may wind up with may not be the same. I agree with Josh to a certain extent. Anybody now, especially the younger you go, the traditional roles is falling apart. Yes, I do agree with that. So it's going to be a different landscape unless you get somebody kind of old schoolish. And then it's kind of like what Josh said. How many of those ones that saying they like old traditional values actually follow the values? You say, can I cook for you? And they can't cook. They can't wash. They get all their stuff dry clean. You know, the traditional values that you expect from a woman, they do not have at all. So, like he said, the values system has died to a certain extent before, like I say, for me and AJ, we're looking at this a little different. Because we got in at a period where the roles were still traditional. and we're living the traditional life. You know what I'm saying? Have kids, raise your family, go about the normal things that it used to be, but maybe not 1950s, but at least modern times. Versus, let's say by the time you find somebody, Jay, it's 5 years from now. What is going to be the mentality then? What will the woman's role be at that time? Because it's constantly changing, just like Josh said, it's constantly changing.
True.
Constantly changing. But at the end of the day, whatever choice that you make, if for both parties, it's a support system. You are giving and taking the entire time. And while you're doing this, you are developing a life. And as the 5 or 10 years, as this deal starts to go on, you'll start to see strands dig down into the earth where you can look back and say, hey, these memories, these things that we did, these things that we established together, they're going to draw you closer. And after a while, it'll almost be like second nature. Because I'm sure at this time, when AJ walk in the house and she see her husband and she look at his face, she can tell you exactly almost what he's thinking. She can tell you when he's mad with no words being said, because she's put the work in. She's actually been with him. They've been through the ups and downs. That builds nothing but memories. And if you stick with it, a long, enriching relationship. That's my final word.
Okay. All right. AJ, it's on you.
Well, I think that standards these days, I mean, they too high. Like they way too high. People don't have fun anymore. They don't get the beginning work in. So, you know, our age now, like if I was single, immediately if I'm looking, then I'm trying to find a husband. But that's not the right thing to do. You have to find somebody that you get along with, that you compatible with, and have the fun. You know what I mean? Have the fun. It shouldn't be so serious. Like everything is just so serious when you get to a certain age. It's about, you know, I want to settle down and all of this stuff. But if you miss that part and you got to a certain age, now it's just time to really buckle down and find a person. But at the end of the day, other people your age, they come with baggage. So I'm 42, right? If I went out and found me a 42 plus year old man, this man come with baggage. He done had women, all kind of whoever, but men handle baggage a little differently than women. So when you got a woman who have all this baggage, it's really going to be harder to get along with this woman, this older woman who done been in 3 relationships or married and divorced, or, you know, niggas ain't shit. These type of women who say that niggas ain't shit. They don't like men. I call them men haters. You know what I mean? So a lot of time when you get with a 40 plus year old woman who's single, she don't like men. She don't like them no more. Why is she single? You know what I mean? What happened? Why is she single now? These is questions that you need to ask yourself. You got a woman, she got kids. She ain't got no man. She got, I'm sorry to say, different fathers. That means she been through some shit. And who's going to deal with that? You know what I mean? Who is going to honestly deal with that and be accepting of that? That's too much baggage, right? So then I think that men, older men, and like I said, I wouldn't want my 18-year-old baby to go find no 35-year-old man. You know, I wouldn't want that. She doesn't need to do that. But if you in your 40s, and you can go find you a 25-year-old, 26. Let's say she got 1 kid. Let's say that. You know what I mean? And she don't have no man. She's still in a situation where she haven't been through as much. And yet standards can't be so high. Like she gotta have this and she gotta have that. Cause guess what? At 25, 26, shit, you ain't got that much. You don't have that much. But can you be the man or a woman, but can you be a man or a woman that can help your mate reach some goals that they might have some goals that they didn't even know they had until they found you. They didn't even know that they could accomplish some shit until they got you, somebody who is goal oriented, somebody who wants something out of life. They might not have ever been exposed to that. And then you get a chance to change the game. And you find somebody you can have fun with because they ain't been so damn damaged. And when you come home, they smiling, there's peace in your house. You know what I mean? When you find these women with baggage, they done been cheated on and beat on and all kind of shit. Where you been? Who is that on your phone? Can I get your password? All that bullshit. That's too much. And to constantly drop that one, because that one do that. And I'm gonna go to the next one and she do that. Everybody with baggage is gonna do some old whack shit like that. You're gonna keep dropping them and go to the next one and the next one, or are you gonna lower your standards a little bit and help somebody grow, somebody that you're compatible with, that you like, that you can have fun with, grow with them, teach them something. You know what I mean? Maybe you ain't got time for that, but you should. If you trying to get somebody on your page and you want them to learn the ropes of what you like, and then you learn what they like, and then there you go. That's my final word. Lower your standards. They shouldn't be so damn high, and don't get no old baggage bitch.
All right. Wow.
Old baggage bitch. All right.
Wow. Y'all have presented a lot, man. I don't know how can I top anything that y'all are saying. Like, y'all have said some phenomenal stuff. I think I should just really just end it right now and not say anything at all. I really do. That that would be a perfect world, but I'm not going to do that. All right. My final word. Man, I'll be having to search for these answers as the week go on.
You should do these like the day before.
No,
you're gonna be last.
I know, but see, I take my inspiration come from all of y'all, and that's why I get all my energy from to do my final word. So mine's just like straight free thought. Okay, so I want to say this. So earlier this year, when we're talking about values and everything, and basically trying to find the right one, at the beginning of this year, I made a declaration. Beginning of this year, okay, it was a declaration that I made to myself. So I'm going to put it out into the world, and me putting it out into the world is going to even more validate what was going to happen. I stated that by the end of the year, that I had made a declaration that I was going to have a potential wife. Okay, that was my declaration. Very big declaration, but that was my declaration. Regardless of whether that happens or not, it's a declaration that I made. Potential wife. I'm not going to marry her at that point in time, but she's going to be a potential. I mean, she's definitely in the running, but not running against somebody else. But,
Gotcha.
Not the Olympics. So, but when we're talking about values and we're talking about the things that we value from our 20s all the way up until now, we look at all the times that all the women that we have dated, all the men that they have dated over the course of time, we look at it as experience. We look at it as the building blocks to learn who we are and what we want. That's how we come up with the values that we need. Now, unfortunately, most people don't understand those values because they never seen the roadblocks that was already put in front of them by having a mother and a father. So I will definitely say myself that my father was absent in my life. I will say that for the majority of the time, my mom was absent because she was out there doing her due diligence to make sure that I had the life that I had. And I was pretty much raised by my grandmother. Did I see the core values of two people working together in a relationship, making it work? No, I didn't. And it kind of screwed with me a little bit. And it's I questioned it time and time again of why my parents wasn't together and why can I see an actual relationship work so I can have that roadmap? Does that make a difference in me having to be able to build a relationship? Yes and no. I think being able to see it gives you the roadmap. Being able to see it, you still have a roadmap, but it's going to be a more difficult road because you're constantly going to keep bumping your head. And I hit my head plenty of times. You know, I believe that I came across a lot of good women that I let go. I believe that I had a lot of bad women that I should have never dealt with in the first place. So in those experiences, I learned a lot about myself. I learned a lot about what I wanted in a woman, what I wanted a woman to provide, and what I could provide to a woman. And that's how I built my values on that. And my values will continue to change slightly over time. Even when I'm with somebody, we're going to continue to grow together, but our values are going to change. What we put forth toward the future is going to change. You know, what we may expect from each other may end up changing depending on the situation. If I become unemployed, I may expect her to do more until I can find another job, you know, in hopes that she's making enough money to cover the bills. But if not, then, you know, a lot of that responsibility still falls on me. So values change over time, in my belief. And traditional roles, yes, they're way out the door. I mean, you can see it with, you know, the women and man on man marriages. We know that the traditional roles are out the door. It's gone. There's a lot more confusion going on nowadays. You know, we're eliminating the actual pronouns that describe him and her. So that's already throwing out the gender roles together. When you start to take out the words that actually describe a man and a woman. Those type of things and those type of issues are what's separating part of my generation and older generations and the younger generation, especially now that they have this idea of gender fluid. And gender fluid is one of them things that is already confusing because it's kind of being like that same line between there is no gender between male and female. So values definitely have changed, and what people respect and take in are gone. It's over. Josh, me and you are in a very unique position, and we're almost 10 years apart, and we both face some of the same issues. And we relate on a lot of planes. We relate, and I can appreciate that and value a lot of our conversations because we go through the same thing. You know, AJ, you know, I'm not in y'all boat. I would love to be in y'all boat, but I'm not in y'all boat. And the boat that y'all in is very beautiful. It's something that was built over time. It's something that's continuously growing, and it's something that you can evaluate and you can take to a whole nother level. So on both sides of the coin is beautiful in the way that how you got there, because you built your values over time and you built your relationship over time. Me and Josh are still building our experiences. Tripping and falling and shit. So with that is my final word. This is Skipping Formalities, everybody. This is our panel. We got Muscle Man Josh, we got AJ, and we got Yule. You know, he rep KC and the Lions sometimes. We don't know what side of the boat he's on right now. But however the case is, we're glad that he's here. Okay. Tune in every Thursday, 6 p.m. We talk about these controversial issues. We getting on people's nerves. We rattling cages. And the most common topic we talk about is the alphabet community, because you know we coming after y'all. I'm signing out. Team, peace.